Muy buenas noches, gente sufriendo en la cuarentena conmigo. Déjenme coger un mejor spot que la luz no nos deje ciegos, más del usual. Ya que pues no tengo civilización, pues hoy no sé por qué decidí, en vez de contar la historia al garete, no sé si ustedes se acuerdan en mis tiempos de I'll read as fast as I can. So if you guys don't like it, I'm sorry. I wrote this 5 years ago. Se publicó en octubre 21 del 2015. El artículo se llama Her Story, Rio Piedras, the city where you lose yourself. This was obviously on personal experience, so that's what you get. I've been in Rio Piedras since forever. I recall coming every Wednesday at night, tagging along with my mom because she was taking MA classes. I knew that there was oh my god, I can't even read for shit. That's where I wanted to be ever since I was a funny looking child that still hadn't hit puberty. I studied hard. I did my fair share of geeky and sporty extracurricular activities to prove I was worth being there. Senior year got there so quickly, and before I knew it, my acceptance letter was one of the first to arrive in comparison to my classmates. I did it. Now what? Freshman year began, and I had zero classes with my friends. My high school friends were gone. I decided that I could somehow make friends in my freshman year, and I did. They were the most peculiar human beings you could ever imagine. I even reconnected with an old classmate and we became the best friends. She's my airplane, I thought. Everything's gonna be okay. I remember feeling lost at first, not knowing what to do, not knowing places. That's how you first lose yourself, physically at least. It's a whole world out there. I feel like freshman year is the year that shows you around campus life, but I was too busy staying at night at the libraries or just simply standing in the Naturales rooftop with my friends. We felt unstoppable. But then life began taking its funny course. My grandma had complications with her health on my sophomore year and died. My 3 year relationship was gone, and I started not caring about my classes anymore. Then bad choices were made. Not many people know this, but I'm actually from San Juan, the capital city. So why would I move to Rio Piedras? Because I felt like it. I moved in with a guy that I had just barely met last semester, and at first it was all good because we weren't even in a relationship. And this is the year where my streak of bad choices began. I was I was an estudiante orientadora and I hadn't really done many adventurous things compared to my former NEs. So I started drinking like crazy. I remember taking everyone to their apartments while I stumbled my way back to mine. I started neglecting my friends, especially my best friend who had no fault of my reckless behavior. Junior year just passed around the corner and that's where things got messy. My drinking had raised the bar, literally. I'm pretty sure I left a good amount of income there. I got into a love triangle that later on made me lose my friends. And all I could think about was Rio Piedras, how Rio Piedras, without knowing, transformed me. And I'm not blaming my choices into the university city, but that's just how it is. You go to college to reinvent yourself, you get out of your old habits to have new things, to meet good and bad people, to learn. And I dedicated myself trying to be someone I'm not to the point where I couldn't even remember who I was anymore. It was a self-destructive relationship. I left the apartment for very peculiar reasons, but it can be summarized that you just can't stay where you're not wanted, especially when they hurt you both physically and mentally. I went crazy. I couldn't stop crying. I walked around every street, every bar, and hold up. This wasn't even the end of senior year, but vamos a pichar esto. Senior year was the year I realized this was all happening. I came back from Seattle and no one was talking to me. I remember getting looks from people that barely knew me. Rumors started spreading. I felt like I was in high school all over again, only this time without my friends for support. This was the moment the light shined in my eyes again. I took 2 classes with Mayra Santos, and for our last assignment, we had to write a story about this place, La Yupi. So I did. While writing, I remember all the apartments I crashed at, the smell of the Burger King at the Humacao Street, helping out others get lucky, walking out. Dios mío, I can't even read. ¿Qué es esto? Walking around particular places and recalling funny stories. I recall almost passing out at El Sapo and my favorite flute player from Juana Diaz coming to my rescue. I took so long to realize that I should have just moved on from the boy I really liked that I forgot to see my transformation years were passing right in front of me. I should have just let go and not hold on to the past. I think it's just so funny how we make such a big deal of things when they're happening, especially when things begin to change. In the end, it wasn't just about a boy, it was a result of bad choices, the way things were handled, and what to do after it's all over. I can say that this fifth year, psych, has been my redemption year so far. I reconnected with some people, I began to be grateful for the individuals that were around me. I began to feel like my old self again. I guess all I needed was a 24-hour lockdown to make me see things from a different perspective. I also needed some people to give me a reality check. I focused on the loss that I didn't even check twice if there was someone still believing in me. I needed a sarcastic physicist, a cute blonde from Generales guy, to make to make me see things a different way. I also think that geeky guy from Twitter who later became my best friend. Even if they weren't trying, they reminded me that a part of me is still here. I may be lost at times, but I have beings around me to help me go through life. I am who I decide to be. I will not let my past experiences define me entirely. I am the aftermath of the storm. I am myself. Those college experiences are the memories that you'll have when you tell your future kids. I remember the boy who ignored me my first 2 weeks and then we fell in love. I remember that kid that used to have a crush on me on my organic chem lab and later moved in with him. I remember the sweet shy girl who turned out to be quite the social butterfly. At one point, I should have known better than this. I should have just focused on my studies and forget about the people. But hey, they were giving me lessons the textbook couldn't. Time has passed. Just don't forget to be yourself. As far as I know, I'm about to leave this place, and it definitely tastes bittersweet, almost like that goodbye kiss. At one point, I couldn't wait to be gone. I'm just gonna wing it now. Moments like this don't happen twice. I may not have it all figured out, but one day I will, and when I do, everything will be okay. Shit, that was 7 minutes in hell and then heaven. So I wrote this during my 5th year, okay? And era un año donde I met a lot of people who became one of my closest friends later on, which I started mentioning later on. I met Los Arceros de la UP. Of course, really fucked up shit happened because there's no year in my university years que fue normal, to be honest. Pero finalmente, I feel like 5th year, I really made it, like, tried really hard to make it my redemption year. And it didn't end up being my redemption year. It just made me even more lost at one point porque seguía jangueando and just like, even though I'm trying to sound like I matured, I really didn't at that point. Sí puedo decirles que en mi 6º año, like, I met this boy and like, y ustedes saben la historia, pueden ir a los videos viejos, nobody gives a fuck anymore. So, esos 2 años después, yo me reenfoqué toda la universidad, but I lost myself again because I relied on someone. The ending to that story that I wrote should have been me valuing my self-worth, valuing who I am, y aprendiendo que better things will come. Obviamente, the signs were there. Like, puñeta, ya me había interesado en ese punto. I mentioned it, a 24-hour fucking lockdown. I mean, it was there. Um, pero, yeah. So, it was very weird reading this. Like, I haven't read it in like 5 years. So it's kind of, wow, un constant reminder to myself of who I was. I put it very lightly who I was back then because I was a very shitty person. Now, quienes me conocen bien y si no también como que just trying to do better, to learn to do my own thing now, yo. So, I don't know, next week I'm just gonna like leer otro artículo viejo porque el whole purpose, I retired from writing from campus when I did the 100 article mark, but it ended up being in 103 because I didn't notice. Idiot. But I hope you enjoyed this old reading of mine, even though que estoy teniendo un montón de problemas leyendo. I should stick back to reading again because I'm like not reading at my age, which is really bad. So see you soon, my peeps. Bye.